Well, we may only be around 2 months into the season here at Southend United, but I'm already running out of words to describe it. After that frustrating episode last time that almost ended on a high, we bounced back in the most ridiculous of fashion in the very next game, and then it all dropped off the cliff again in midweek in the Champions League. It's starting to become a case of the unexplainable, and today, with two more tough games round the corner, I don't fancy our chances of turning it around soon. Yes, hello, and welcome along to part 113 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. We are back today to face Everton and City on the road. First one in the Premier League, where we're level on points after 8. And then the second one in the Carabao Cup as we still chase our first trophy in that competition. However, the draws are not helping us. You can see from the two results on the top right of the screen exactly what I mean about what's happened since the last episode. And that 4-all draw against Juventus is something that I will not be able to explain for a long time. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on today, then please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. But for now, the only thing we can do is go and have a look at the two results, because since you were with me, we had those two big 4-1 defeats. We had that almost 3-2 win at Liverpool, ended up being a 3-all draw. We then came back after the international break at home to West Ham and won by 9-0, which was all the more surprising because after 78 minutes, it was 2-0. And I've never seen goals go in at a rate like it in any Premier League match. Not quite right, but we did get 9. 2 for Wills, 1 for Kranjic, 2 for Jimenez, 2 for Yukulano, 1 for Herbert, 1 for Ivanov. But then against Juventus in the midweek, I was comfortable. With 20 minutes to go, I thought, job done, we're happy. We actually rested a few, which ended up costing me because I brought on our only third choice player on the bench in Roy Curley, and he scored the own goal for them to equalise, as this time we conceded 3 goals in 6 minutes from the 83rd onwards. Jorg Robertson had got 2, Karen Sanchez had got 1 apiece early on. It was the perfect performance for 80 minutes, and then it just went completely wrong at the end. I've never seen anything like it from this team, where we've just started conceding so many goals. Even at our worst, when we were fighting relegation in the first couple of Premier League years, we weren't this bad at the back, and it's becoming a big concern for me because you look at the 11 we're putting out. Yes, we rotated against Juve, but that back 4, bar maybe Herbert, has been our first choice for the last couple of seasons. And that really worries me looking forward because we're going to have to play similar against City and against AIK. And I'm going to need better performances and I'm going to need things to sharpen up. We quickly abandoned our experiment with the wing backs in the fullback role. So we've actually got the same tactic as last year now as well. It's all a little bit puzzling to me, I must admit. But the show must go on. The dynamics are still very good, which you would have thought is possibly the problem as well. Not the case, despite the usual few wanting a new deal to reflect their ability. So as we go into the first of today's 2 games, I'm left a little perplexed at our form, and I'm hoping that it will all settle down fairly soon, because while we are still in the battle at the top of the table, that dropping of the points late on against Liverpool has allowed them to stretch 3 clear. Yes, with a game more played, but if we managed to get even the win out of that one, we'd be on 19, they'd be on 18 now, and it would all be looking all right. So certainly not a disaster this season, but maybe it's just the fact that we've had a lot of difficult games in succession or in one bunched period. But the way that we threw away that Juve game after doing it against Liverpool as well, it really has got me a little concerned. So we're going to move into this one. We're going to hope that we can address it a little bit. But away at Everton is no easy feat. Let's go and make the changes that are recommended by the assistant. Let's go through and look at our 11. I always struggle with this formation in FM. The 3 narrow in attack, 2 behind the striker. So let's see if we can find a way to deal with it. Let's see what 11 we can put out. Well, I'd argue that this is a relatively strong team selection today. We've only changed a couple from the assistant's recommendations. I'm going to gamble on the flying fullbacks because we're playing against a team without much width, and I'm hoping we can overload them out there. However, it does leave us at a risk in the middle with 2 centre-halves and Bernberg dealing with their attacking 3. So it could work out either way. Let's see if it's in our favour. We've gone for Jude Sadler in goal. The 2 new fullbacks are Carlos and Gomez, with Herbert and Rakowski the wrong way round in the middle there. In midfield, it is Yukulano and Adamson out wide, with Jimenez alongside Bernberg in the middle. He's the worst rated of the four midfielders, Jimenez. But he's playing the best, and when he's in the side, we're generally defending a bit better. We've gone Kranic and Wills up front as Kranic has ended his unhappiness and is finding some form. So let's see if he can deliver the goods today. It's apparently not training very well. Let's submit the team. Let's get through to the first one and just hope. Can we concede less than 3 goals? That's all I want in an away fixture at the minute. It's not a huge amount to ask, is it? Let's go and get through to the first half as we have got a team with Filipovic in goal, a goalkeeper we've looked at before, but he is under 6 foot, which gives us something to target. Soren Hansen, our lone player, obviously ineligible for this one. So they've got Bramthwaite and Patterson from the originals in defence. Alfie Devine is still there in midfield. Caden Young on the bench. And a lot of very good regens. So let's go and ask the lads to prove a point. Let's get through the tunnel interview. In the first half, we go away to Everton. And we are desperate for a good defensive display. Well, a few minutes on the clock and it's been a quiet game so far. But we've got Everton playing out. And you can see where the battle is here already. We've got a 2-on-1 on both sides out wide. They've got a 3-on-2 in the centre of the park. And it's which one's going to come out on top. What I will be annoyed at is if Patterson can create chances with the width there. But we've nicked it with Jimenez. And now he can counter. Look at that from Jimenez. Finds Joe Wills. Supporting the middle from Kranic. He goes wide. Maybe not the worst idea with the way they're set up. And Buali has made a brilliant block from Kranic there. Just wide of the post, even with the deflection. But a wonderful counter-attack, a wonderful breakaway. And to be fair, going forward, I know our strikers haven't been in unbelievable scoring form. But as a team, we are scoring goals. Very rare we're not putting the ball in the net. It's just that we can't defend. This set piece headed away by Wills is out to Devine. And now Castro. Was that not offside? Doesn't matter for now because Carlos has nicked it away. And Adamson can take advantage of the width. On the break he goes. He's past Patterson. He's cut back inside for some reason. Why did he do that? Gave Patterson a chance to get a foot in. And now Everton can take advantage down the middle on the break. But they play short to Bramthwaite. And they're content to work their way out more slowly. Gasperotti gets it wide. Goes back to Bramthwaite again. Into midfield for Buali. And now Hodgkinson. You can see Will's doing the work back. We've got a good shape and structure. But it only takes one slip up. And that has happened plenty this season. The amount of individual errors is frightening. And there's another. Herbert has just allowed Valentino to peel off him. Completely fell asleep. He's been such a good defender for us in recent years. And yes, it's a new centre-half partner. It's 2 new fullbacks. But it's really not ideal that the one stalwart of this team is starting to get left behind. I'm just starting to feel we need new centre-halves. I've got to be honest with you. As Wills gets down the left-hand side. Is that a pen? I think it was just outside the box. Oliver's given a penalty, but I think this might be changed, you know. It's a really frustrating period because you could argue our best centre-half now is on loan at Everton. We said it was a gamble when we did it. The penalty's been awarded. That is a surprise. Didn't need much encouragement to go down, according to the commentary. Let's see if Kranic can do the job from the spot. Oh, he's tried to Panenka it. Oh, you've not tried to chip it down the middle. You clown. You absolute clown. How much is that going to cost us? Kranic puts the corner in. Straight at the goalkeeper. Herbert wipes him out. These are our big players not stepping up, honestly. You look at the match stats. They've only had 1 shot in the whole game, Everton. But it was an easy chance because we fell asleep at the back. And it's becoming the story of the season. It's going to be one of those really frustrating years, I can tell it. Because we're just giving away so many individual errors. It's frightening. We've not done it for years. But I am feeling that Soren Hansen after next year, this gamble hasn't paid off. He'll develop more, which is great. He's going to need to be in our first team next year. And he might need a new partner if Rakowski doesn't improve. As Kranic gets in and he does make amends. But Joaquin Jimenez is the man of the moment again. Been the player of the season so far, despite being close to the transfer list by the assistant's recommendations. He chips that one over. Kranic gets in and he puts away the ghost of that penalty miss. And hopefully, that'll be the end of his nightmare performance. But it is Everton straight back on the attack. And most of our threat is coming on the counter here. You can see, despite this good shape and setup, we're getting caught out because, again, Gomez has just gone too narrow there. And straight away, Everton are in. Sadler makes a brilliant save. And this season, he's having to be beyond phenomenal. Because we're not giving away many chances. We're probably not giving away more shots on goal than last year. Just all of the chances we're conceding are great ones because we're making stupid mistakes. As Branthwaite finds Bouali, back to Bennett. Everton camped in our half here, but we do manage to see it out. I'll be honest with you, and I know these might be famous last words as this comes in and is headed over. I take a draw in a game like this. The same as Liverpool away, I know it was horrible circumstances. I just want to stop the rot and stop conceding so many goals. If it weren't for a penalty miss, we'd be ahead here. It's been a decent performance, but we've offered up 2 shots on target to them, and bar the penalty, they've been the best 2 chances of the match. As Castro plays out from the back for Everton, we're not really taking advantage in those wide areas. The wingers have been poor, but we have got quality on the bench if we need it. As it's back to Zelensky, the centre-half for Everton, and now Hodgkinson, who's running the show in there. Bennett picks it up. Wills is pressing him, but you can see Everton just very happy to keep it. They're pointing around, they're keeping their structure, and we're struggling to deal with it here. Valentino turns to Patterson. We can't get the ball off them. It's like a training session. Just going to chase them around and see what happens. Branthwaite into Bouali. We've been caught, and there's the number 10, Devine, coming into it. He's taken my voice with him. That's got to be offside. Castro puts it in. We need to be saved by the flag here because, again, we've been carved open a bit easily. I can't just change my shape every time we come up against this formation. And thankfully, we get away with that one. The offside line was good. The defending prior to that, not so much. 10 gone in the second half. Another warning sign from Everton. But this time, we're in possession with Jean Carlos. Wide to Adamson. Both fullbacks, both wingers struggled in this game. And that's where we should have had the advantage. But Jimenez looking for that through ball again. Kranic just beaten by Branthwaite. But Gomez gets to the byline. It's a good ball towards Wills. He does win the header. But it was just beyond him. Didn't have the power on it. And he goes out for a goal kick. Side netting, no harm done. And despite having by far the greater expected goals, yet again, it's a story of what might have been. We're going to take off the wingers because they've been poor. Yocolano for Robertson. And we're going to go Adamson for Vasquez. I could do the same at fullback, certainly with Memic on the right, but I don't know if that's going to solve the problem at this point because they are playing with those types of players that should suit Gomez and Carlos better, the trickier, quicker players rather than the big brutes that we need Memic to deal with. So let's just make those 2 and get on with it. I might take Kranic off soon as well because despite the goal, he's not played well. We've got a corner with Vasquez and a chance to take the lead as it's up to Joe Wills at the back post. Beaten to it by Bennett. Robertson will get down the left. There's still a chance to get this in. Robertson to the byline. Back to Carlos. Ball across the box is cleared away at the front post. Herbert recycles it for Bernberg though. And the pressure's on, but we've got to make it count. This has been what we're so good at normally, but look at that from Herbert. Get off the pitch and get that armband off. Honestly. A disgrace and lack of responsibility. Devine at the keeper. He's going. I've had enough. What are you doing? I mean, seriously, it's a bit of a joke now, isn't it? Herbert's coming off. We've only got Sanchez there, who's been crap this season, but I've had enough now. I'm also going to bring on Torres for Bernberg, and I'm going to bring on Ashley Carr, often the hero this season, for Dion Kranic, and I'm going to hope we get a reaction. There's a few nerves on that bench, and why wouldn't there be? Because you're coming on and knowing that your teammates might well drop a clanger in front of you. We're going to throw the encouragement out. We're going to give it a go. We tend to go. It's 1-1. We've been the better side. There's no doubt in that. But we're also giving up the best chances almost entirely through individual errors. 3 minutes added on. It is going to be a 1-1 draw. I've got my wish in a way because we've not conceded 3 goals away from home. And it was a good performance. But where are the individual errors coming from? What can I do about them? I don't really know how to deal with this situation. It's not something we've seen before. We've got world-class players who are making individual rickets every week. We stay within 2 points at the top of the table. We've already played Liverpool, United, Arsenal, Everton. You know, there are good signs here in terms of the fixtures because we should have an easier run coming up. Kranic misses the penalty, which does cost us in the end. But overall, a better effort, a better performance. Now, can we back it up in midweek? Because maybe if we won a Carabao Cup this year, I would forgive some of the other failings defensively. Well, it's fitness test time, and Lewis Herbert may well have made it, but you're not going to be starting Sunshine because that was pathetic what you produced at the weekend. Let's go and get through to the fixtures via one good bit of news because I feel like things have been getting a bit negative here in the last week or two. So let's look at a good news story, shall we? Because John Nussum is a free agent we bought in about 18 months ago. We'll ignore Kieran Peacock getting sent off for Bayern. But Nussum came in. He was rated as a pretty average free agent that might become two-star ability. And we gambled on him. We paid him a few bob a week. He went off to Walsall in League Two, helped them to the title, got Player of the Month 3 times. And here, having stepped up to the Championship with Burnley, he's now scored 6 in 13. He's been the Player of the Season in the Championship. And he's absolutely flying there as well, and has now become an official wonder kid. So maybe John Nussum is going to become a better player than we thought and become a superstar for our football club, which would be great from a free agent. They're up in 8th in the Championship and they're having a right good go. So good luck to him for the rest of the season. For us though, we're going to need the luck tonight because we're going away to Manchester City. Spurs are playing Chelsea in the Premier League and we'll need to keep an eye on that. But for us, I think it's going to be almost a full rotation. I've said it before, while I like to win this competition, we've still got to prioritise realistically. There's 15,000 empty seats at the Etihad, but let's go and get the team picked because we're going to make a few changes, rest this team for the weekend and get out what is close to a backup 11. Back in a minute to run through it. Well, here we go with today's all-change lineup, and I think the only survivor from the weekend is Yukulano on the right because Robertson is probably first choice and will start at the weekend. Yukulano's had a disappointing year and he's not really stayed fit after missing a lot of pre-season. So this is the 11 we've gone for. The good news is all 4 strikers have been scoring, so we've not lost many goals on that front. McNaughton in goal, I've got to be honest with you, it's maybe come a bit soon. He struggled this season, but it's going to be worth it in the long haul. For the Carabao Cup today, it's a gamble, but we'll see how he gets on. The fullbacks are Memic and De Angelis, last season's first choice, with Sanchez and O'Day, the two who were vying for first choice last year, alongside them at centre-half. Vasquez and Yukulano out wide, with Torres and Kivrakidis in the middle. And then it's Teddy Ivanov and Ashley Carr up front. But who's going to deliver today? We go away to City, who I hope will rotate themselves. They did lose Haaland this summer after all to Saudi. Or did they? Because he's just dropped out the team. He must have rejected it. I remember seeing the offer and just sort of assumed he would have gone, to be honest. Of the originals, Rico Lewis is the only one remaining. Rather depressingly, he's probably still only about 31 in this game. Haaland is on the bench. He's still there. Van der Voort on the bench too. And there's a few higher squad numbers, but there's plenty of stars. Gibbert is a brilliant player. Arthur the same. We know this ain't going to be easy. Unai Emery has gone, well, Villa, Arsenal and City in this save again. So let's see if he can keep his good run going as a manager and whether he can knock us out of the cup. Because this is one I really want to get the trophy, get it won. And then we can focus on the other competitions again. I don't want to get to the end of this save and have not won a Carabao Cup. With 10 gone, we've started the better on the stats, but nothing to show for it. We've got a throw on the left here with De Angelis. Finds Ivanov. Kivrakidis to Sanchez. And O'Day in the middle, who I'm probably going to sell now. He's been poor whenever he's come in this year. Individual mistake in that Juve game as well. As Yukulano finds Carr, it falls for Teddy Ivanov. I thought it might have been a penalty on Carr first, but Ivanov's composed. He's still putting the ball in the back of the net. He is getting close to that stage where we probably need to replace him and get in a set target man in that role. But unfortunately, we can't find one at the minute. That means Ivanov gets the chance. But for our sake, he scored today. Though they're straight in at the other end with Arthur. God, we cannot stop conceding goals. I keep thinking about things. I've been looking at this for the last week or so. Do I change shape? Do I change style? Do I move forward? But we've got to remember, this has worked for 2 successive seasons. We've been winning Premier League titles. We won the Europa League and the FA Cup before that. Logan McNaughton's got injured. I mean, seriously. Goalkeeper injuries in FM24. I cannot wait for that to hopefully be resolved in the next edition because it's driving me nuts. But I don't know what to do. Do I stick or twist? Because yes, we should be evolving from a 4-4-2 and doing something else. But this has been the one that's worked for us. It's been brilliant all the way up. And we've won back-to-back Premier League titles. How can you come back from the summer and it just fall away like this? I know we're about 14 years in here, but in terms of the top battles in the Premier League, I kind of feel like I'm having that Jose third season effect. As Gibbert puts the corner in, O'Day to Carr who hoofs clear. We can't go in behind at half-time, but can we go in ahead? Yukulano on the break, no support whatsoever, but he keeps carrying it. He's done really well. Good ball in. Defender deals with it. No runner across the front post. And now City come straight back the other way. Sandy Arthur carries it forward, the scorer, towards Gibbert, who's just a brilliant striker. How they found a level replacement for Haaland, I don't know. Suarez from distance. Oh my God. That is an unbelievable goal. Did you see the bend on that? Incredible strike. His first ever goal for Manchester City. His first ever goal, and it's that. Long shots rating 13. I mean, he's not bad. I've got to see this again. I'm sorry. I've got to see this again. For a player who's never scored for this club. It comes back to him. 35 yards. Oh, my words. Sometimes you just know it's not going to be your day, don't you? Your name is never going to be on the trophy. And I've got to be fair to the lads. They've not done anything wrong so far. They've conceded an absolute screamer. Otherwise, they'd be level at the break. You can see from the stats, we'd been the better side at half-time. It's an incredibly unfortunate way to go. But after some of the awful performances this season, maybe we deserve a bit of poor luck. Let's go and look at the changes because, again, Ashley Carr gets a start, doesn't deliver. Vasquez off the left, keeps wanting a new contract, keeps not delivering when he's playing. The two centre-halves, not for the first time, have been abysmal. I'm going to take Sanchez off because he struggled for fitness more this year. And then I'll save the last two a few more minutes. Might throw on maybe Jimenez and Joe Wills, I don't know. We'll work it out when we get there. But a little bit of encouragement, try and get some spirit into the lads, which has been a real thing this year. Despite the morale being good, the dynamics being great, the way our heads drop when we concede is like something we've not had for a few years. And considering the strong characters we've got in the group, it's a bit odd. I'm hoping it's just a little passing fad and it'll get better in time. As Ivanov finds Kivrakidis and now O'Day. Into Rakoski, good football. Carries it into midfield for Torres. Can we just get to penalties? Give ourselves the chance. I think Haaland's come on up front there, he has. As De Angelis works down the left-hand side. Support from Adamson. I think he's played it too late. I think he's offside. It's into Kranic who hits the post. Doesn't matter anyway. Goes wide. And we're just under 20 to go. It will be Torres off for Jimenez. And you know what? I'm going to go Memic off for Gomez. Go for the more aggressive fullback. I can't. We lost the keeper, didn't we? Oh, it never rains, but it pours. I should, just in case, look at the penalty taking attribute. Carlos is awful. I don't think I can base that. I mean, we're 2-1 down. I shouldn't be basing a decision on penalties when we need to score to get there. As Kivrakidis, play short to Yukulano. Men in a box, you've got to cross. Finds Kranic, 2-2. Now the penalty taking rating's important. Dion Kranic gets his goal off the bench. He's definitely made amends for that penalty miss now. With 15 remaining, you can look at the stats again. With a dominant side in terms of creating good chances. Yukulano's done well today. He's got 2 assists. If we go to penalties, I don't fancy it. And that's my worry. With 5 minutes added, we've thrown one more bit of encouragement. But it is penalty kicks to finish the day. Ivanov and Kranic will be up there. He can't miss 2 in an episode, can he? Kivrakidis is nervous, but I'm going to have to put him in there because the rest of the takers after the top 5 are just absolutely abysmal. After that, we'll go for the composure of Jimenez. We'll go for the motivation of O'Day. Yukulano's there. Memic is there. Sadler and then De Angelis is the worst of the bunch. Let's go and stay calm and hope that we can produce the goods. Who are the two that are nervous? Kivrakidis and Memic. Come on. I've got confidence in you. We've got Kivrakidis motivated, which is the important one. He is in that top 5. Jude Sadler is on due to the McNaughton injury. And he's got a save from Erling Haaland. He can't. He goes the wrong way. Dived about 4 yards in front of his line there as well. Teddy Ivanov, goal scorer today. Regular goal scorer for the club. But none of our penalty takers are great. He put that one away well though. Into the corner. Sends the keeper the wrong way again. And now it's Jude Sadler v Luis Guilherme. Come on, Jude. We need some magic. You've already been a hero this season. But he doesn't look like it today. He's not getting near these. Dion Kranic is second up. Missed one in the last game. Oh my God, he's not even hit the target. What's wrong with you? What is he doing? Rico Lewis for City. Now Jude's got to save, and he does. Dion Kranic, honestly. 2 penalties in a row. Tried to Panenka the first straight at the keeper. And a second has blasted a mile wide. Adamson dicks one down the middle there. We're happy enough with that. It's 2-2 after 3 apiece. No damage done. But Kranic, seriously, he's been reliable for years. Oh, Jude Sadler's to the rescue. He saved another one. Go on, Jude. How many episodes this season am I going to have to name after you, honestly? Kivrakidis was looking nervous before the shootout. Shouldn't have been. It's a great penalty. And now, we're possibly very close to getting through. We just need Jude to stop this one going in from Shearer. Or us to score our 5th. I can't even remember who's taking it. Please, please, please let this one miss, because I don't fancy us. Shearer puts it in the corner. Look, Jude's done his bit. He's saved 2 penalties. Now we just need to score one. It's Rakowski, the centre-half. If I told you I was confident, I would be lying, so I'm not going to do that. Rakowski versus Pepino. Anywhere in the back of the net will do, mate. Doesn't have to be a good one. Rakowski. Oh, my God. At least hit it with a bit of power. At least make the keeper work. I swear to you, we are destined not to win a Carabao Cup in this save. Sinani, he's hit the post as well. No one can score a penalty. No one wants to win the Carabao Cup. City want to go out. Our team clearly want to go out. We are now down to the takers, rated 6 and below. Joaquin Jimenez is 6th up. He's been great this season. He's composed. But his penalty taking rating is 4. Not that that seems to matter in this year's FM. Joaquin Jimenez. It does matter. Pepino saves it. This is one of the worst penalty shootouts I've ever seen. Dunlop v Sadler. We just can't win this competition. Nobody wants it. Dunlop. Oh, it's in off the post. How fortunate can you get? How on earth has that gone in? And now we've got another penalty taker rated 6. Is it O'Day? Oh, God, it is. This is not a good sign for us. I would quite happily put money on this not going in, to be honest. O'Day hits the post. How many is that? 5 that hit the woodwork? And we lose the shootout. Bit of a delayed reaction there. We're destined not to win that competition. Honestly, never seen anything like it. How didn't we win the game in normal time? Another goalkeeper injury. Kranic just forgotten how to take penalties. It's one of those seasons. It's going to really, really irritate me. I can tell already. I think in my 14 years, this is going to be the most annoying spell. Logan McNaughton is out for 6 weeks, fractures his arm while being struck by the ball. If the ball's breaking your arm, lad, you need to get in a gym, quite simply. Yukulano was brilliant, 2 assists for him. But the Carabao Cup, for the 12th time since we returned to the EFL, has slipped away. And after 2 difficult draws, we go out on penalties. And again, we can see 2 goals in a game where the XG against us was less than 1. I'm getting frustrated. I'll be honest with you, I cannot wait for this spell to be over against the likes of Chelsea, City and Spurs, because then we've got a run of winnable fixtures. But I think what we're going to do is come back in the midst of that. We'll show 2 games somewhere between PSG and Aston Villa, because I think while they're all home games, they are ones that could be testers. PSG in Europe, we know they're going to be strong, but then even the likes of United, Villa, and to be fair, Brighton this season, all doing well. So we'll come back for 2 of those. For now, though, if you did enjoy this one, frustration of the highest order, 2 dominant displays and no victories, and please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know what you would do in this situation. Do I panic based on the fact that it seems to be slipping away in individual moments? Or do I take heart in the fact that we've been incredibly successful for 2 seasons, we're still playing really well, and stick to my guns and trust it to come good? Let me know what you would do if you want to stay up to date and find out what I decide. And do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back in a couple of days' time to find out. But in the meantime, we've got a big finish to the season from our coach's head save tomorrow. You can come and join me for that and a transfer special later in the week. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being here as always. And I'll see you again next time as frustration, I'm sure, will be on the menu yet again.